On October 16, 2022, People magazine reported that reality star Monique Samuels and her husband Chris had separated after 3 kids and 10 years of marriage. But it was all a lie, according to Monique. Hours after the initial report, she hopped on Instagram to shut the rumors down with Chris by her side. She also flashed her massive diamond ring to stop the haters in their tracks. Now, let us explain a little something to you. Here at RRG, we are more than just gossip, and we cite credible news outlets in our videos. People magazine is one of our trusted sources, and typically, when they report a story, we know that the news is factual because it typically comes directly from a celebrity's PR team. So when People magazine announced Monique and Chris had separated, we jumped on the story and started compiling information to create another red flag video for our besties. But when Monique called out the magazine for lying, we were confused. People magazine rarely puts out fake news, and as of this video, they still haven't retracted the Monique and Chris story, which means they're standing by the information they received about the Samuels' marriage. So, although we're ecstatic that Monique and Chris are still together and moving forward with their marriage, we can't ignore all the signs that point to trouble in paradise. We're about to dive deep into other people's business, so if your undergarments are in a knot already, go on ahead and skip this video. But for the rest of y'all, you know this is about to be some mess, so be sure to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, banana pudding popcorn, and chili lime peanuts. Now let's take a trip back in time. Mobile, Alabama native Chris Samuels had prophetic dreams his entire life. One of his most intense dreams showed him being drafted by the Washington Redskins in the NFL draft. That dream came true when the Redskins, who are now known as the Washington Commanders, selected him as their 3rd overall pick in the 2000 draft. As he focused on being the best offensive tackle, his vivid and prophetic dreams continued. After being in Washington for 3 years, he toyed around with the idea of using his NFL earnings to start a record label. He told the Washington Post that a business associate set up a meeting to introduce him to a new aspiring artist. 25-year-old Chris headed out to a nightclub in a Washington suburb, where he met 19-year-old New Jersey native Monique Cox. After introducing himself, he immediately asked her, "You got a man?" According to the Washington Post, not only did Monique have a boyfriend, but she was a bit intimidated by 6'5", 325-pound Chris, and his deep voice startled her. In response to his question about whether or not she had a boyfriend, Monique nodded her head yes, and Chris told her, "Well, you've got to excuse me then, because I'm real aggressive when I see something I like." Later that night, Monique took the stage to perform. Chris liked her sound and promised to keep in touch. For the next 2 years, he did keep in touch, even after he scrapped the idea of starting a record label. At the end of 2005, Monique told him that she and her boyfriend broke up. From there, she and Chris started hanging out as friends and started clubbing together. Eventually, they became inseparable, but their relationship was completely platonic. Chris said he had never met a woman that he had so much in common with. Monique put her music aspirations on the back burner and became a real estate appraiser. Her flexible schedule allowed her and Chris to spend even more time together during the NFL offseason. After a year of hanging out as friends, she realized he was someone she could see herself spending the rest of her life with. She didn't want to scare him off though, so she kept her feelings to herself. A month later, Chris sat down and told her, "I think I'm falling in love with you." They made it official, and a few years later, Monique decided it was time to explore the idea of getting married. She grilled Chris about his intentions, and he quickly built up a wall. He told the Washington Post, "People always push you to get married when they think you're ready. Then all of a sudden you jump in, you're like, oh man, what did I just do?" In addition to that, he hadn't seen many successful marriages, and he was happy with the way things were between him and Monique. They pressed on, and as they both matured, they stopped partying and spent more time in church. Chris got involved in real estate as well, and Monique helped him organize his finances. In 2010, he was forced to retire from the NFL after suffering an injury. With additional time on his hands, he started thinking more about his life. He had so many questions about which direction he should take, and his dreams provided him with all of the answers. In the fall of 2010, he had 2 dreams indicating that he should marry Monique, but he ignored them. On the night of December 30th, 2010, while tossing and turning in bed, he prayed,
"All right, Lord, I know you're probably laughing. You've already given me 2 answers and 2 dreams. I just need one more confirmation from you."
He fell back asleep and dreamed that his house was being remodeled. In the dream, he wandered into a room and spoke to 3 young women who told him how good he and Monique were together. This was all the confirmation Chris needed to pop the question. On New Year's Eve, he and Monique headed to church, and then they returned to Chris's bachelor pad to drink wine by an outdoor fire pit. Chris explained his last dreams to her and told her,
"I'm ready to do what I'm supposed to do."
He showed her the ring and asked for her hand in marriage. Not only did Monique say yes, but she also told him, "You're going to be the happiest man on earth. Everything you thought about marriage is going to be thrown out the window. We're going to create our own thing." So let's back up a bit. Chris was just fine with their relationship the way that it was, and it wasn't until his football career was over that he started to realize he was ready to settle down. They had a 2-year engagement, and in March 2012, 28-year-old Monique and 34-year-old Chris became husband and wife. They continued working in real estate and purchased 5 homes. And Chris also worked as a college and high school football coach. However, because he was so good with his money during his NFL career, he didn't need to work, and neither did Monique. They welcomed 2 children, Christopher and Milani. And in 2017, Monique joined the cast of The Real Housewives of Potomac. During an episode, Monique explained that she and Chris often had tension in their marriage whenever her birthday approached. Her castmate Robin Dixon, who married, divorced, and is now re-engaged to Juan Dixon, told Monique that she understood because athletes can struggle at times to understand that not everything is about them. But their problems were way deeper than that. Monique also had issues with Chris's mom, who called her a heifer during an episode of the reality show. His mom also told Monique that she needed to get a job. Monique explained on the show, "The way Chris is so frugal, we're good for the next 100 years to come. I need to get a job. I'm wifey." Chris stopped speaking to his mom for a while because he didn't appreciate his wife being disrespected like that. During another episode, Monique explained how overwhelmed she was with taking care of her husband and their children, working on her new business venture, and doing charity work. Her issues came to a head when it was revealed that she crashed her vehicle after falling asleep at the wheel. The man that was so forward with her the night they first met at a nightclub was also slacking when it came to fulfilling Monique's needs. She encouraged Chris to plan date nights and to pursue her like he used to because she felt like he wasn't putting enough effort into their marriage. He was apparently putting in some work in the bedroom, though. In 2020, Monique announced she was pregnant with baby number 3 after suffering a miscarriage. Rumors began to circulate on the reality TV show that she was allegedly having an affair with a personal trainer, and there were allegations that the trainer was the father of her unborn child. Monique gave birth to their son Chase in November 2020. The following month, she announced she was leaving the show amid all the drama and toxicity, and due to Monique's belief that her castmates were trying to destroy her marriage. While Chris was also disappointed by the alleged attack on their family, he told Reality Blurb website he didn't regret signing up for the show. He also added that the program brought him and Monique closer together. After exiting the show, Monique took some time off to be with her family before she was approached to star in Love and Marriage, DC. Agreeing to do the show was probably the worst thing to do at that time. Monique admitted to TV Insider that she and Chris weren't really talking to each other when they were given the opportunity to appear on the reality show. Monique stated they were also in a rough patch when they started filming. While she was ready to lay it all out and share all of their relationship issues with viewers, Chris was extremely uncomfortable with the whole idea. And based on a statement Monique made, it appears that Chris was more than willing to fake the funk in order to give the appearance of a happy marriage. Monique had to tell him, "Listen, if you expect me to get on this camera and act like everything is all hunky-dory, you must not know who I am." In the end, Chris went along with it because they had already signed on and committed to the show. The Samuels were filmed while having a heated exchange because of a counseling assignment that Monique felt Chris wasn't taking seriously. She later admitted she got triggered whenever she felt like Chris wasn't doing his part to strengthen their marriage. And during one episode, she admitted that if she could get married to her husband again, knowing what she knows now, she wouldn't. Viewers were taken aback and voiced their concerns on social media. One viewer called the couple a mess, while others called out Monique for the way she was treating Chris on camera. At the end of season 1, Monique attempted to blame editing for the way she was portrayed. And as for the state of their marriage, she told Essence there was still an imbalance in their relationship. And Chris still hadn't followed through with things he had promised her before they even got married. And then came People magazine's report that Monique and Chris had separated. Even her former Real Housewives co-star Ashley Darby confirmed during BravoCon that the couple was separated. So what was the truth? Monique and Chris went live on YouTube the same day the news broke and revealed they're still married. They aren't separated and they have no plans to divorce. She also said it was hurtful that people were excited when the fake news hit the internet. As for Chris, he said he found the rumors funny. However, he was disappointed that people would report something without doing any fact-checking. Monique also addressed Ashley's statements at BravoCon by saying, "A lot of people were trying to throw Ashley under the bus. Ashley is innocent. Leave her alone. She did not start this stuff." But she and Chris also admitted that their marriage did take a turn, and instead of filing for divorce, they decided to go to individual counseling sessions to work on their personal issues and focus on themselves. They also decided to spend a couple of nights apart while working on themselves. Chris stayed at one of their other homes, while Monique and their children stayed in the couple's marital home. Monique said spending those nights apart did wonders for their relationship, and they've been communicating a lot better than before. As of this video, it appears that Monique and Chris are still in love and dedicated to making their marriage work. They're also looking forward to diving deeper into the process of fixing their marriage on Season 2 of Love and Marriage DC. Countless couples have showcased their love on our TV screens, only for them to fall victim to the reality TV divorce curse. Perhaps divorce would have happened anyway for several of the couples who have split since allowing cameras into their lives. However, it's clear that the pressure of being on TV and under a microscope can contribute to the demise of a relationship. Here at RRG, our suggestion is for Monique and Chris to take a bit of a break from filming and focus on strengthening their marriage away from the cameras. Because the way things are looking right now, we hate to say it, but this is one marriage that might not be built to last. Do you agree with us, or are we tripping? Let us know down below, and thanks for watching RRG.